We love Lara Croft. She's a brilliant, realistically flawed action heroine. She's also British, which is great because we're sick of always being the scheming bad guys.
No heroics, please. Or I will kill her.
Get your own video, Uncharted. So yes, big fans of Lara, but let's get one thing straight. Lara is a terrible archaeologist. Every long-lost historically significant site she discovers ends up collapsed, exploded, or collapsed then exploded. I'm starting to wonder if she bought that archaeology degree off a dodgy internet site. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, Lara adopts her late father's quest to find the divine source, one of those ancient artifacts that tends to be of untold power.
I'm close, Lara. Close to something important.
But my advice to you, Lara, scrub archaeology off your resume and play up these 6 things you're much, much better at.
Almost there, Lara! You got it!
As you will discover from the game's dramatic opening sequence on the side of a mountain, Rise of the Tomb Raider contains the most beautiful, iciest looking ice we've ever seen in a video game. Fortunately, Lara is extremely proficient in ice climbing this time around and carries a pair of ice axes with her everywhere, which she has pinky promised to only use for ice climbing purposes. Lara. Later in the game, these ice axes get an upgrade and become nifty grappling hooks, which makes clambering around a lot quicker and more flexible. The grappling axe upgrade also allows you to swing quickly between platforms if, say, the whole place is collapsing and exploding for whatever reason. Lara might have been busy doodling pictures of explosions during her archaeology lectures, but she does at least have a basic understanding of physics. Our favourite bits of Rise of the Tomb Raider are when you're having to fiddle with physics puzzles in order to progress, balancing weights, flooding chambers, and yes, ferrying explosives around.
Okay, should be able to swim through now.
It's also the reason why you should always go and sniff out the optional challenge tombs when you get the opportunity, because they tend to combine exploration with a nice meaty puzzle to chew over.
A Byzantine war galley.
They're the part of the game that's most reminiscent of the old school Tomb Raider games, but minus the fiddly 90s precision jumping that made us want to scream our uvulas out.
The Prophet, slain by the Order of Trinity.
Lara's also pretty handy with languages, with a basic working knowledge of Greek, Mongolian and Russian, all 3 of which come in useful in her adventures in Siberia.
This writing seems to be pointing to something nearby.
Alright, she's a little rusty and needs a bit of a refresher to decipher some of the text, but fortunately just looking at some old scrolls or checking out murals is enough to jog her memory. Successfully decoding tablets will reveal secrets and earn you XP as you do it. I learned French much the same way, which is why the only phrase I know is "Où est la bibliothèque?" Like almost every game that contains a bow and arrow, Rise of the Tomb Raider includes the option to use said bow to park said arrow in a defenceless animal's windpipe. Hunting, they call it. While you're out in the wilderness, you can stalk various types of wildlife, and Lara's a dab hand at skinning them for crafting materials. The more you collect, the more you can use to upgrade weapons and craft new survival gear. Because what use is a shotgun if it doesn't have a luxuriant fox fur stock to keep your hand warm while you use it? Please don't boycott me, Petter. I'm just doing what I have to do to survive.
All teams report in.
After the previous Tomb Raider detailed Lara's journey from reluctant killer to full-blown psychopath, in Rise of the Tomb Raider she's dropped any pretense of pacifism this time around. In fact, the only person she seems at all hesitant to shoot is the main bad guy, Constantine, even when he's standing there completely unawares.
What are you doing?
Then it's back to crafting incendiary shotgun rounds to ensure that everyone who wrongs her ends up both dead and on fire just for good measure. Lara's archery skills have improved since the last game too. Stuff like rope swings and zip lines are still in there, but now she can craft and fire sturdy broadhead arrows that allow her to create a series of platforms to climb up. She's also capable of fletching poison arrows and fire arrows as the situation requires them. A blockage might need to be cleared with a fire arrow, for example, and apparently the only way to kill a bear is via poisonous gas cloud.
Caught in time.
You can even craft an arrow with a grenade on the end of it, which seems like taking a very quiet weapon and making it very noisy indeed. Still counts as a stealth kill though, somehow. Now that is my kind of stealth. So there you have it, probably time to consider a different, less monument-desecrating career, Lara, like perhaps Russian teacher or slaughterhouse technician. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time on Outside Xbox.